What's up, everybody? Welcome to Speed Doc 713. It's your boy, Dr. Dre. I'm here. It's a great day here in Houston, a great Sunday. I done linked up with my boy, my old colleague and co-worker from the Gulfgate days, Raul, man. It's good seeing you, baby.
Absolutely, dog.
Yeah, man. So
it's been a minute.
It has.
Too many minutes, actually.
It has. But life's been treating us well,
I see that, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So Raul hit me up. We've been chopping it up. We always chop it up through text messages and all that. Yep. He said, I'm thinking about getting out of the GT 500. So, of course, if I'm involved with it, you know what we ended up doing. So, Raul, tell us a little bit about your journey from the muscle car days to now.
Yeah, that's a different transition. So, naturally, there's going to be some curiosity how you go from muscle cars, GT 500s, 5.0 Coyote engines, and I ran with Porsche 911 body, 996. And it's like, how does that make sense? How did that happen, right? Given that I was a muscle car Gloria guy. Well, the GT 500 was one of those, it was an 08 GT 500, okay? Supercharged, even supercharger, lower pulleys, smaller, it was a reduced balancer, so we spooled up faster. I was making about 650 to the wheels. That car scared the shit out of me, Dre. It scared the heck out of me, you know what I'm saying? So it was never a car that you could always have the same performance every time you got in it. Because it really depended on how you drove. The driver into the car is what you got out of the car. Okay. And so as a driver, you know, I'm not a nice car guy, you know what I'm saying? I'm not one of those circuit drivers. I just like to cruise in my car, have fun with it. You know, maybe line up with somebody else every now and then. But all the upgrades that went into making 650, it became laborious as a driver. The short stick is a hard gearing stick, right? Got to get into those gears. Clutch was super heavy. Got too heavy actually for daily driving. So it became a car where, you mentioned earlier when we were talking, it went beyond what you intended to be. It became
bridge too far.
Yeah, bridge too far. It was a track dedicated quarter-mile car. It was no longer a get on the highway cruise. You know, it got too loud, obviously, for daily driving. So, you know, I said, okay, well, let's go to the next chapter of cars. You know, what do I get into? What do I want to do? I know I don't want to do muscle car anymore because I kind of hit the peak of muscle cars, if you can kind of say, right? It was 650 to the wheels, 7-something to the crank. You kind of hit Mount Everest a little bit, right? At least I'm on the Himalaya mountains, right?
Exactly.
So I was like, okay, well, let's get into something more sophisticated. Still performance, still a sports vehicle. What am I looking at? I'm looking at Audis. I'm looking at BMWs, Mercedes. I'm looking at everything that I thought was within my budget books. And I never looked at Porsche. Porsche was the last thing for me to look into because I was thinking, you know, it's a dream too far. And so I'm like, well, okay. So, but that's how naive I was with Porsche family, because there's the 996 brother and cousin of the family lineup that's a perfect Porsche starter.
Yeah, it is.
Gets you into the Porsche market, gets you familiar with the Porsche activities. Found this one, great deal. Got it from an older gentleman in Arkansas who was looking to let it go. He really didn't have any more interest in it. He was old, he was of age, wasn't his thing anymore. Got it off at a very, I feel like I stole the car from him, really. So I got into this, and you know, I know I had asked you some questions, Porsche questions before. Yep. I saw when you went to your 997 journey, and you went all over the world with your experience.
Yeah.
But I learned most of my Porsche things from Drake.
Man.
And that's where I'm at today. Now we're lined up, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We're sitting right next to each other.
That's right.
911 bodies.
Yeah,
old school, new school.
That's right.
I love it.
And they're great. I'll say that the 996, this is the best looking 996 I've seen. You know, at least in the narrow body car.
I got you.
This is like the color of this. When you pulled up, I was like, damn. Like, I mean, this is going to be a collectible car. The 996 generation, for those of you all who may not know, this is the first water-cooled 911. So this car is significant in Porsche history, in the 911 history especially, right? So the 996 came out in 1998 officially. Yeah. And so the first model year was 99, and then it ran to 2000, and then they did a refresh where they changed the headlights a little bit.
992.
Yeah.
Dot 2. Yeah.
Yep, that's
or
right.
996.2. There you
Dot
go.
2 came, and there were just a couple of little updates here and there. And then the 997 came in 2005, right? The 997 is the 911 that I had before the one that I have now. So there was a cat, I wish we could have lined him up. He was running his 997 turbo up and down, flying. We were trying to flag him down because then we would have had 3 generations of 911 right here. But the thing about Porsches are, I was always told you get the 911 that you can afford comfortably, right? Whatever that is. Because the only knock that the 996 ever had to it was the headlights. They call them the runny egg headlights, the fried egg headlights. But that doesn't look bad. It's still a 911.
I like fried eggs, dog.
I do. I love them. I had some this morning. You see what I'm saying? I mean, it's a great car. So I brought my 911 out, which we also talked about some of the modifications that we both have made to our cars, because we're still gearheads. I've had muscle cars too before. I've had the Japanese, the JDM cars before. Now we landed right back. I keep coming back to 911. So I'm glad to welcome Raul to the fam. So let's take a look at his, man. Take us on a tour of this 996.
All right, so this is the 1999 911 996. It has 62,000 miles on it, which for me is low mileage considering it's a 1999 vehicle.
Right, it is.
That's fresh. I actually got it with 61K, but I've been driving it. So you're looking at about 62,300 miles on it. I've done a few things, just maintenance things, keep it alive, keep it stable, keep it healthy. Got a whole bunch of suspension parts. So we got the struts, we got the shocks, bump stops, we got end links. We also did motor mounts. I forgot to mention that earlier. Got motor mounts, new ones installed, aftermarket, high performance. That way that engine and that transmission's linear. You got no shifting issues. It is a 6-speed. We also got coolant reservoir changed out because you know those decay over time.
AST, that tank.
We also got the oil separator changed out, spark plugs and coil packs, and a fresh tune. So to the wheels, I think we dynoed about 281, 282 to the wheels, so about 3-ish, 310, maybe 315 to the crank, maybe. And I'm being very modest at that point.
Right.
It was dynoed with the tires on, not that, you know how sometimes they dyno it on with the hub. With the hub only, but it was with the wheels on.
Okay.
So I was actually very satisfied with that.
No, that's a strong number. That's a strong number.
So interior-wise, got that peanut butter leather.
Oh, man.
You see what I'm saying?
With that splash of wood.
Peanut butter leather. Got a little wood grain in there. Got digitized some things. So I got the Android Auto, rear view camera. My side mirrors, so they're aspheric mirror lenses.
Yes, so you can see the blind spot.
Right, because you know it was too costly to look into an aftermarket signal advisor thing, right? Where you get the sensors coming off. So I said, you know, the cheaper route is going to be the aspheric mirrors.
Yeah.
It takes your eyes a little bit to get used to, but once you learn how to read the mirror, your blind spots are always available. And you can trust it too, because that was one of the problems I had. Is like, can I really trust this blind spot? Right. And I can't. Haven't wrecked it yet, so I'm looking good.
Yeah, because I've been looking to get that on mine, man.
Oh, okay. And they help tremendously.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I did a test where if you're driving and I see someone in my blind spot, like to what point do they drive up where I stop seeing you there, but I see you in my peripherals?
Yeah.
So as soon as I stop seeing you in my mirror, I already see you in my peripherals.
Really?
That's how clean the aspheric lenses work.
Okay.
Moonroof, of course, which I love to open up days like this.
Yeah.
Spoiler up, have the music bumping, but that's my 996.
It's gorgeous, bro. Like I said, this color, the values of 996s are starting to creep up. The first ones that are going up in price, of course, 996 turbos, but then the 996 4S. It's creeping up. Like I saw one that was going for like 50. And so next in line is going to be this.
Absolutely.
And you already could sell it and make money off of it.
I can.
You know?
I actually had a guy make me an offer. The dealership that I serviced it at, the owner, because for him, he's like, he hardly sees 911s in this color. He says he's been in town doing Porsche maintenance for 40-some years. He's a certified Porsche seller. He's like, in his whole life, he's seen maybe 4.
Right.
4.
Yeah, this is not, I mean, I was telling them before y'all came up that I had a model of this car in this color like when I was little, like back in the day. And I mean, it's, well, 99, I was, you know, high school, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
But I had a model in this color and I was shocked. Like, this color is beautiful.
He was willing to go 30 for me.
Oh,
and you remember what I bought it for?
Right.
And I was like, that's about 8, 9 above what I paid for it. I mean, so it was really appealing because he has some 997s in his shop. And I was like, we could probably work out a trade deal or something like that. But he had the standard silver gray colors in his shop. And I was like,
you kind of want something different.
You know what, you just saw the car. Your guys are working on it. Let your guys tell you if it's worth the 30K or not. Yeah. Because we also got the oil tested in the lab. Yeah. Did all that stuff. No metals. Good. Engine never revved beyond the limiter. Yeah. So I knew it was a safe car. IMS has been replaced on this. RMS has been replaced on this. So I don't have any catastrophic concerns pushing or driving the car. Good. So what I do need those tires. So you recommended some good ones for me?
Yes.
I'm gonna look into that.
Yeah, I told him like at a 300, and if you're in the 300 to 400 horsepower range, Michelin pilots like what I have are great, but it's almost a bit much tire. Like I swear by Nitto 555s in any other circumstance. The problem with the Nittos is the top speed is not as high. They're not as highly rated as that. But I want to say, you know, for 98% of whatever scenario you're going to be in, the 555s are great. Sure. You know, like I said, if you really want to splurge, you can't go wrong with Michelins. Like I won't. The P0s I had were trash. They couldn't hook up for shit. So I don't, you know, I swear by the Michelins. I never had anything else on our old Panamera or the my last 997. Yep, the current Panamera that we have, the 2018 4S, it's still on P0s, but when it's time to replace those,
go on Michelin.
Michelin. Yeah, 100%. Because I did on that Panamera, I did clock it at 3.86 seconds to 60. Okay. All with launch control right out here, you know, and that was just one run I did real quick
back
on
here
the
in
P0s.
Mexico.
Yeah, because we're in Mexico right now. Yeah. So let's take a look inside, bro.
Let's go.
See what you got in there.
So, you know, nothing fancy, but everything functional. So seating position is not bad. I'm about 6 foot tall. I'm walking at 270. So I'm not crammed in there. I'm comfortable. I could do a long commute in here. You know, my distance between the clutch and the braking and the tire is just perfect. And that was one of my concerns actually buying into Porsche, right? They're smaller cars. I'm like, man, am I gonna be comfortable enough to daily this? This car fits me perfect. So I can't imagine what yours feels like because you got a little more room. Yeah. So I don't want to sit in there because then I'm gonna start shopping and I don't want to get into no trouble. You see what I'm saying? You're trying to get me in trouble with the wife. But anyhow, so you got the peanut butter leather, right? I love these little cubbies. Yes. I love these cubbies, man, because they're deep and you can store a lot of crap in here. And no one really knows there's a little cubby right
That's
there.
right.
And
That's
I like that about that.
Yep.
I got this little cup holder here. So the year model doesn't have cup holders. So I had a young kid print out this 3D cup holder that replaces the ashtray. And it's a perfect fitment to it. You know, when you're in Mexico, and you know have a little Modelo in the hand, you see what I'm saying? Right. Got the digital screen, 7-inch, I think. Android Auto, got some nice music in there. You know, got the Bluetooth capability. I got a built-in mic in there, so you know, just bringing the car up to modern day interior luxuries, right? I do want to look into a smaller steering wheel.
You can do that. I would say Carbon-tastic.
Yeah. That one's a little too big. Yeah. Especially when you're trying to maneuver. You know, you're rolling on your knees a little bit. Yeah. But, you know, so that's part of the next thing I'm going to look into. Right there with the tires and maybe wheels. I love that your trunk, your front, and your engine are still cable pulled. Yes. So these are easy to maintenance if they ever go out. You know,
that's right.
You just replace it. It's real easy. But that's basically it. I mean, the back seats aren't nothing to talk about.
Man, you got the memory function down there too?
Got the memory function on the on this one.
Yeah.
And it works. It's functional.
Yeah.
Electric. Both chairs are electric. You You got all kinds of adjustability. You know, my wife's a smaller lady, so, you know, she likes to sit up a little higher,
Right.
a little closer up. No problem. I always got the chairs folded down because I'm always throwing stuff back here.
Throwing stuff back, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a perfect, it makes your trunk bigger, I think. You have a lot more storage.
You do, you do.
I have fit, no lies, I fit a bike back here one day. Okay?
I don't doubt it.
And a big boy chair. I mean, we were right next to each other, but we cruised it. We made it happen.
Yeah.
That's about it, I mean.
Well, I've been able to fit people in the, well, one person in the back of my 997 and in the back of this.
Yeah.
So
it's possible.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going for a quick run or something.
Yeah.
Rear of the car. I love the rear of this car. I like the rear of any Porsches, really.
Yeah.
But this rear, for me, is special because it carried on that design that has obviously rolled over to the newer models. Love the dual exhaust pipe, which you see the chrome. I got the little custom exhaust tips.
It looks good.
Got a rear view camera because, you know, it is Houston.
Yep.
People just running behind you.
Yeah.
That's about it, though. Nothing too crazy. Got the sunroof, which is perfect.
Man, it's so funny because I'm looking, you can see the lineage.
Yeah.
Like, the greenhouse is obviously the same. The rear windows and the side windows look almost interchangeable.
Right, they look similar, huh?
Yeah, very, very similar, man. Like,
even the rear view mirror, the rear window.
Yep. Inside, you see a lot of stuff carried over, like just even some of the switch gear. It's like Porsche was very disciplined in maintaining the lineage. You know, a lot of people used to say, oh, the designers of Porsche are lazy. I'm gonna hit you with a counterpoint. I think they have the hardest job in the world because how can you redesign a car that you must make the same?
Right. You
see what I'm saying? And same thing can be said with Corvettes. You don't want to be the person who messes up the design of the Corvette. You don't want to be the person who messes up the design of the 911. You know, we're talking about cars with 50, 70 years of evolution here. So
to hit that point, it's like, how do you make something new but the same?
Yeah.
And that's difficult to do.
Yeah.
Because if I want to have the same shoes but new, will I find them? They're going to be a whole different shape, model, design, all that stuff.
Yep.
So you make that good principal point about the Porsches. I think, was it Pinky Lou who designed this one? I can't remember his name. Pinky Lou, right? So controversial design, because remember where this came from.
Right.
It's bigger, it's wider.
Yeah.
Compared to its older generation. It's water cooled, which everybody was freaking out about.
Everybody was freaking out about that.
And then the most controversial part, the lights, right? Which were on the GT, the one that won Le Mans.
Yeah, the GT1, exactly.
And that was his inspiration to roll it over to the car.
Yep.
Everyone loves the GT1 race. They won Le Mans. I'm redesigning the 911 completely. Let's stamp that on there.
Yep.
It was the most, well, here's the thing. It was a price markup. It was hate that one of the parts the price down.
Exactly.
And that's amazing to me because it's like, okay, outside the lights, it's a 911 all the way out.
Yep, through and through. Like,
you see what I'm saying?
If you could get in either one of these cars blindfolded. If you could drive blindfolded, you tell, yo, I'm in a 911. Straight up.
Absolutely. The
you would be able
position, the steering wheel position, the way you sit in the 911. I was texting you this the other day. I've sat in Hellcats, Chargers, Scat Packs, Mustangs, Camaros. I've sat in Audis. There's nothing like a seating position of a 911.
It's almost perfect no matter where you know.
Like, you're not laying down like you feel like in a Corvette. You're still upright. You still have enough knee bend to drive. You still feel like you're sitting.
And you don't look dorky.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So your visibility of all your mirrors, all your windows is clear as day. You know where you're going, you know where you're turning. Yeah. So, like you said earlier, you always end up back in a Porsche. I think I'm always gonna be in a Porsche.
Yeah, man. I don't know one person who has ever gotten a 911 and said that was a bad move or has not circled back to it. You know, like I tell everybody this all the time. That people love to say, oh, you Porsche fanboys, or no, there's a reason for that. You know, I like good stuff. I like stuff that works well. I like stuff that's built right. And it's, to be perfectly honest, I don't know what everybody's driving out there in TV land or YouTube world, but it's not a lot of cars that are built right. You know, a lot of cars have flaws, but I'm hard pressed to find them. Like we could sit here and go about the dislikes of them, but it'd be nitpicking stuff.
It'd be splitting hairs.
Yeah,
You'd
it would be.
Hairs.
It really would be.
Because to just certify your point, take a 1999 Mustang, take a 2020 Mustang, look at the grand variance.
Yeah.
Okay. Take a 99 Porsche. Is it 18?
Yeah, 17.
17 Porsche. Look how the quality has stood over time.
Exactly. We're talking about almost 20 years in difference. And yeah, and the quality of this car, you forget what year this is, man.
Absolutely. This is a 1999. There's some viewers, you weren't even born when this car came out.
Right, right. Okay?
And look how clean, sharp the lines are. The performance is still there. It's all, for me, it's not crazy power. I'm not pushing 650 like that. Okay. But it's always enough power.
Right.
To bring out the performance of this chassis. Right.
We're talking about 1999. This car could do 0 to 60 in like 4.7, 4.8.
Good hot day, good driver, 4.7, 4.8.
Yeah.
In 99.
In 99.
Okay, 99.
Yeah, if you don't have time on your hands, go look up and see what the stats were of cars from 1999. This car was in the top tier. So
I think it won vehicle or motor car of the year 99, I think.
Yeah, it did.
It did.
Because it's still a great car. You know what? Show us the engine real quick, and then let's get some driving experience, man, some driving shots.
Let's see.
Because, see, you can't see the engine in mine anymore.
Oh, no?
No. That's one of the things that I miss. There you go.
There you go.
Because it's what, 3.4, 3.6 liter?
Yeah, 3.4. 3.4. Nothing, again, it's all stock right now. You got the air box. I don't have a performance filter because what I've learned is that it actually decreases in power with aftermarket filters.
Exactly.
So the OEM filter works just fine. Oil cap, of course, got your intake, got your fan to blow out some hot air. Water reservoir's new, you can tell it's new.
Yeah, I can tell, yeah.
Motor mounts are right underneath here. The silver plate here, those are brand new.
Oh, yeah.
See the motor
Is that
mounts.
like Ren line or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, pretty much it. They're easy to work on. Everything's accessible here. You just take out this whole body, this intake body here. You have access to all your belt lines, alternator, etc. To get to the spark plugs and coil packs, you actually access it through the wheel well from the rear tires. You just need a lift or jack stands. I do most of my work now because my first service experience. Oh, they got you with the labor.
Yeah, that labor is high.
So I said, you know what? I got some tools. I got a screwdriver. I got a Phillips. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. And these motors are real easy to work on, to be honest. That's why this is a great beginner Porsche.
Absolutely.
You know, or the great Porsche for somebody who likes to tool. You know, the biggest thing that I miss about my 997 is I can't work on the engine anymore. Like this car here, the bumper has to come off or the motor has to be dropped. It's like I can show you what's under there, but
all you gonna see is turbos.
Well, not even that, bro.
There you go.
There's the fan. Oil cooler. That's where you
get extractor.
Yep. And see, look, even your motor is bigger than this. Yep, because this is 3.0 liter. Now it is two turbos strapped to it. And
make the big difference.
Yep. And we'll probably do another video, guys, about the mods I've done on this. There's still a couple of things we got to work out. Like I need to change the ignition coils, but this car is going to be a super sleeper in the 911 world. There are only two things on this car that you can tell that it's making big power. When I say big power, it's supposed to be making between 600 and 640 horsepower, depending on what gas you're using. Because I've strapped on the GTS turbos to it, two larger intercoolers, third radiator in the front, diverter valves, the plenum, the high flow filter on this, and the catch can.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's important.
Yep. So this car is
when you're boosted.
Yeah, very important, very important. You want to scavenge any of those fumes. You don't want that kind of stuff settling in the turbine, you know, because that's hot and oil and all that doesn't mix. But this car is a true sleeper. There are only two ways that somebody will know that it's not a stock 370 horsepower 911. And I'll show you right here. The biggest giveaway is this area right here. This area is stock and it's always been functional, but on the factory car, this is just black plastic. This is authentic carbon fiber in there now. And that's feeding an intercooler that's about 40% larger than the stock, the AMS Performance Intercooler. Then in the front, you have the third radiator, which on the stock car, that's just some fake vents. It's shielded. So now you got an inlet right there, and we got 3 radiators in the front. One on either side, and then the third one.
Now, this one also has the air vent to cool the braking too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, yes. And what I found out too, those slats there are actually active. It's active aero, and it aids in it opens and closes.
Okay.
So I've never seen it happen because obviously I wouldn't.
You're in the car.
I'm in the car, yeah. So, but I think it happens for fuel savings. I'm not 100% sure about it, but it happens for fuel savings at highway speeds. But they open and close.
Look at the similarities, though.
Yeah, look at that.
You got the same tow hook.
Yes.
Position where mine's at.
Yes.
Right? Well, yeah, exactly. So,
yep.
The headlight nozzles.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Like
same position.
It's just like same but new.
Yeah. Yeah. The fuel filler, same place.
On the left side. Yeah.
Yep. I mean,
it's classic shit.
They're great cars.
Classic stuff, man.
Well, let's get a couple of rolling shots, bro, and then we're going to hit happy hour.
For Pete's sake, I'm above average, I padded my stats. I gotta matter what he say. I'm the flight risk. I play among the stars in the Hollywood Hill. The space station couldn't even get in touch with me. Praise faith that I stuck with it. Wave. No, I really can't complain. Lost in imagination. She only want me when she fade. She quick to tell me I'm a favorite. She ain't told no lie, she love it when I catch my cadence. She gone.